If you're at the stage in your life when you want to become someone and something bigger than you currently are, and you have this vision but you don't take an action, well, what you gotta do is you gotta become the main character in your life. Like these examples when you watch a movie or play the game, right? And there's always main character and the side characters. And most likely at this stage, you are the side character in your own life. You are still the main character in terms of you taking all the decisions, but you not living your life to your fullest. You're not living your life to something that you want to become, it's something that you have inner passion about, right? And at this point, you gotta understand that becoming the main character is the only option that is suitable for you at this point. And you need to take yourself in account and become one. What I mean by that, for example, if we have some movie, right? There is a main character that takes all the decisions, take all the responsibility, takes like life takes twists and twists, but still, this person is fully the main character, and his life is aligned across his vision, right? And if you are the side character, well, you are just happen to you just happen to be some person in this line of the main characters. So, well, instead of like completing the most valuable quests in terms of video games, you are just some person, some NPC in the random side quest, just for fun, right? And if you, for example, consuming a lot of social media, if you're playing a lot of video games, right? If you're consuming something that you are really interested and passionate about, but you're doing nothing at the topic, well, you are NPC basically. You are the side character. Why? Because if you are truly passionate about something, if you are truly interested in growth at this particular topic, well, you would be researching something, you would be learning something, and you would become someone. You would become an expert. You would become an influencer. You would become some sort of a leader in this particular field. And becoming a main character in your life instead of being an NPC side character, well, it would take 3 steps. That's 3 steps that we're gonna discuss today. And the first one would be to identify your hotspots. Hotspots would be for you that these points that you are really interested and passionate about. Something that you are doing really much and you are feeling like you are relaxing at this. For example, if you taking like your phone and scroll for hours, right? Well, at this point, you could become an influencer. You could create content. You could provide value instead of just consuming value some other person provides. And by this, well, you might become an expert in some particular topic that you are really interested about, or you just could really share your life. And well, if you do this long enough, some people would relate. And once you understand this, and once you load your life with some interesting stuff coming in all the time, right? You would become byproduct the interesting person for others to follow. Someone would see you as an example. Someone would see you as a leader. Someone would see you as like father figure, for example, right? Because well, you fulfilling your life, you fulfilling your desires, you fulfilling your passions, and someone doesn't. So why wouldn't you be the person who provides this value and provides this example that it's possible? You just gotta do it. Why wouldn't you? If you're really passionate about video games, right? And you play like 10 hours straight daily. This game was created by someone. Why it's not you who's creating some games for others to play? Why it's not you? Well, it's up to you to decide. It's up to you to choose a topic. For example, like, I don't know, if you're passionate, really passionate about the gym, and you're going there for years, right? And you consume every bit of content regarding the gym, you are really walking encyclopedia in terms of gym knowledge. So you could talk about, you could share your knowledge about the gym and some specific exercises, or some nutritions, or some like hormones influence and balance, and how to work with that, right? If you like playing video games, you could become a streamer. I don't know, like, it's up to you to decide. It's up to you to paint your life in the colors that you wanna, right? And well, that's that's the something that you would start off. So you identify your hotspots, right? And you think of it of how to turn consumerism into creatorship. So instead of being a consumer, you wanna to look at it and think, how would I be a creator in this particular field, right? Once you identified your hotspots, well, you need a plan. Everyone needs a plan. Like, there's no winning in life without planning. So what you gotta do is you gotta take, I don't know, keyboard and open a spreadsheet, or you can just take a regular notebook, right, and pen, and write things down. What I want to write here, uh, it's everything, like, literally, that comes to your mind about this topic, right? It doesn't really need to be too much structured. It doesn't really need to be something that's step by step. You just need to write your mind, right? As much as possible. So it would be really hard at the beginning, really, like, really hard. You could write a couple sentences and, like, I don't know what to say else, right? Well, leave this notebook open, leave this spreadsheet open, and get back to it once you get some useful thought. Once you, like, covered, I don't know, for example, like 3 to 4 pages. I mean, like, regular full pages with the text of your thought, of processing of your mind. That's something that you're gonna start with. It might be really sketchy. It might be like, it doesn't need to be perfect, because if you wanna start from perfect, you will never start. So just writing up your mind in the open up form, like, just every thought on the topic related, right? And when you're done with that, you read it, you learn it. Why you wrote down this particular thought, why you written down this particular sentence, why, and what leads to it. And you can divide those thoughts by the topics. For example, if you want to become a content creator, right? If you, at this point, you understood that you are really consuming a lot of social media content, I don't know, educational content, for example, right? And you want to educate people at some particular point, at some particular topic, well, you need to think of everything that you able to think related to this topic, write this down, and just analyze as much as possible. You gotta look on what have you written and why, and this reasoning would become something that will be the beginning of it. If you are, like, video gamer and you decided that you wanna become a streamer, right? So, well, you need a bit of equipment that's well, upsides to it, but yep, you gotta need this. So for example, you can just use your phone to and connect it as a web camera and like start playing and just start playing. That's it. If you want to become a content creator, you just open up the camera on your phone and just start recording. If you want to become a writer, you just start writing anything, like really anything. You can just like start to write in the fantasy stories that comes out of your mind, right? For example. And well, that would be the third step, the one that's most important. That you gotta start and you gotta track your progress. How do you track your progress? You gotta just do it once a week, at least once a week. If you really want, you do it more often, but start just once a week. Put a bit of effort. It's different for different things. For example, if you're a streamer and you're playing every day, well, you can do it every day, right? If you are want to become a content creator, right, you can just create some I don't know, Instagram reels or a couple of TikToks or like YouTube video once a week. That's not really much effort. You don't gotta be thinking about editing stuff. You just press record, you just save the video and upload, and that's it. And just like get a couple months pass by, so just get used to it. You will become the more comfortable with the camera in both in content creator and the streaming. You will become the more natural, more relaxed. You will sort of like figure out what to say and how to say, right? And well, you're gonna re-watch everything you've done. So for example, if you are a writer, well, you better read this thing now. But before you start reading, you first need to post it. So for example, it could be an article to some blog. It could be like some tweets, like anything, anything, because the most valuable skill in today's life is to be able to lead someone. And that's something that, for example, AI will not gonna take from you. It's not going to be something that devaluate over time. So, and by doing so, what you're gonna do is, well, you will start to create instead of consuming. Well, you can still consume if you are really interested and like interested about, or you just doom scrolling, whatever. You can still do that, but you will not just consume, you will also create. And when you are a creator in your life, well, you will start thinking of fulfilling your life, of filling it up with something more interesting, because at some point you will run out of the topics and things to say. At some point you will run out of something that, well, you will start to think that there's no more value you can provide, but there always is. There always is a value, because if, for example, you are the person who can do, I don't know, 20 pull-ups, right? It's considered as normal, but actually it's very rare in this world. And so what you can do is you can become an expert in pull-ups for someone who wants to begin and doesn't know what to begin with, right? You can start to training people. You can start to helping people with mental illnesses. You can start to just be a playful person and like entertain people, like creating some funny videos, creating some streams that you are just playing games, enjoying it and laughing about it. And well, people will follow. At some point, people will follow, because if you are taking all those steps seriously and you are acting on them, so you create and you analyze, at some point you will start to noticing that, okay, I can improve here and there, and you make so small improvements here and there, and over time, over a long distance, right, you will become the professional in this. And once you become the professional, well, you will grow audience naturally. As the quote goes from the Rocky movie, from old one, like, you gotta do this one step at a time. Just don't rush yourself in. Do it one step at a time, and you can convert your life from being a side character NPC to being a main character. And well, you'll be glad you did, and you didn't miss out the opportunity. Take care.